Hey, how's it going, guys? It's the Lobster here, and welcome back to another Rocket League video. And in this one, guys, this one is pretty interesting because it is like a tips and tricks video, but it has to do with this sort of like secret decal that lets you do something you've never been allowed to do in Rocket League in the past, and that is get a black car. That's right, guys. So with this decal, you can pretty much go full incognito, FBI, undercover mode, and have a car that pretty much has absolutely no color on it. Now, along with this awesome little trick, we're also going to be talking about that random little update that you probably got yesterday if you happen to play Rocket League then. But basically, that update fixed a bunch of bugs, and we're going to be going through all of those today as well. But anyways, guys, before we get into this video, be sure to leave a like down below. It always helps me out a ton. And let's try and get to 3,500 likes. I think we got that on our last video, and I definitely think you guys can do that again. But other than that, guys, enough general talk here, and let's get into the video. Alright, guys, so starting off today's video, before we get into the secret decal sort of thing later, let's jump straight into it with the update that we got yesterday that brought us all the way up to version 1.30 of the game and the few main bug fixes that it addressed. So overall with this update, and this is the same update for PS4, PS4 Pro, Steam, and of course Xbox One, but it brings us up from version 1.29, which was the Hot Wheels update, and again it fixes a bunch of the bugs that we were experiencing with that one. But anyways, for the first fix that they talk about, this is probably the biggest one of the update, and basically it says that it fixed an issue with the ball collision code, changing it back to pre v1.29, or again the Hot Wheels update, and this is for conditions in all offline matches in free play. Now along with this, before they even put up this update, they did put out a hotfix as soon as they could to address that in online matches, but this is just officially changing it back so that we don't get those very annoying weird bounces. Like seriously, those bounces were insane. I mean, I think they were worse on PC, but even on Xbox One, it was bugging the crap out of me for quite a while. So I'm super happy that they were able to fix this. But moving on to the second out of 3 fixes here, this one is another small one, and I believe it was only happening on PC, but basically it fixes a few of the toppers that weren't being correctly displayed in online matches, and those were specifically the Cavalier, the Mohawk, and of course the pixelated shades, the Deal With It shades. So the good thing about this one is it wasn't happening on Xbox One. I did try it out myself, and luckily for me, my beloved Deal With It shades were still on top of my car right where they belong. But yeah, if you're playing on PC, and I think maybe PS4, this is of course now fixed. As for the final fix of this update, this is another fairly simple one, but they fixed an issue with the Twin Mill 3 engine audio not following the battle car correctly. So I really didn't notice this one at all, but apparently it was an issue, and what I actually find odd about this is they didn't fix the wobble glitch that happens with the Twin Mill 3. Now with that being said, I'm definitely starting to believe that the wobble glitch is a more complicated thing that has to do with the physics of the car. That's why we've had it around for so long, especially with the Batmobile and off and on with the Octane. So hopefully they fix that one soon as well. But anyways, guys, that is enough for all the update information. It's kind of not as much as I thought there would be, considering the update itself was over a gigabyte, but still, at least the bounces are back to normal. But anyways, getting into the trick that I wanted to show you guys today with the incognito all black car, this one is honestly really awesome. So again, with this decal, it pretty much allows your car to be 95% black with just a little bit of color coming through, but for the most part, and even at a distance, it looks completely 100% black. And as you know, if you've been playing Rocket League for at least like an hour, you know that you cannot put the color black on your car. Whether you're choosing the blue side or the orange side, black is not one of the main colors you can choose. Of course, you can put it on the details side, but overall, there's not really a decal that truly looks like a black car. However, with this new Player's Choice crate, they did add in a decal that does make your car pretty much fully black. So yeah, let's see if you guys can guess which decal this is. I will say it's the distortion one, but do you know which car it's on? So take a second here to decide, is it the Octane ZSR, the Breakout Type S, the Dominus GT, or the Takumi RXT? Now, if you happen to guess the Dominus GT distortion decal, you are 100% correct. This is what me and my friend Speedo are now calling the incognito decal, and this thing just looks absolutely amazing. Just take a look at this freaking decal. How cool is that? I mean, you can barely see any of the red underneath it, and even then, that red is so dark and just so faint that it actually looks amazing, especially with the Crimson Lightnings. I mean, Voltaics. Oh, it's gonna take me a while to get used to that name. But again, come on, this thing is absolutely amazing. And then, of course, for the blue side, I just go with the darkest one, the dark purple. And right now, I don't really have a good wheel set for this because most of my wheels are sort of brighter, but I'd imagine like Purple Lightnings look really good with these, but still, it's an amazing looking decal. Now, if you were curious about the other colors, I'll go into the customize menu right here and go over to, let's just start out with the blue side. But yeah, when you go to the left, they generally get lighter. I mean, it still looks black overall, but for the most part, it's definitely not as good if you go all the way to the right to that dark purple, and it's the same exact thing for the orange team. The dark red is by far like the darkest color, but this one you can actually choose between like orange, red, and pink, and they still look really good. Now, if you still think that this car doesn't look completely black, let's go into game here and show you what this car looks like if you were looking at it from someone else's perspective. So starting out at super far away, this car looks 100% black. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy how well this decal works. But then when you get closer, you still can't really see the color. For the most part, it looks like a black car until you get fully close up, pretty much touching the car, and then you can finally tell a little bit of what color is the secondary color. Now, to add to this, even in the replays, once you score a goal, this decal just looks insane. It even almost looks better than a bunch of the mystery decals out there, which is pretty crazy considering this one is a very rare, but you cannot say that this does not look good. Now, for the last thing about this decal, and you've probably been wondering about it, why can't you just do this with the other distortion decals? Like, considering we have a ton of them for I think 7 cars, it's close to 7 or so, but even with the other new ones that were added in with the PCC, and the answer to this is sort of weird, but basically the Dominus GT gets sort of glitchy with its decals. Now, I will say that the Octane ZSR also works pretty well with this sort of glitched out decal, but it's just not quite as glitchy as the Dominus GT. Like, for example, if you put heatwave on the Dominus GT, as you can see, it barely shows up. Like, comparing heatwave on this car and then moving over to the Breakout Type S, there is a gigantic difference. Now, I'm not sure why it does this. I think it has something to do with how the Dominus GT just has a lot of sharp edges, but because of this, the distortion decal also suffers from this problem, but in a good way that lets us do this all black car. So that is why by far the Dominus GT is the best car to do this with, and honestly, it is not a bad car to have it on. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to leave a like down below. It only takes a second and it helps me out a ton, and do not forget to check out some of my previous videos, which should be popping up on the screen right now, including a huge crate opening of the brand new Player's Choice crates, which was honestly a very weird unboxing. And then for the video on the right, we talk about a brand new addition in the Hot Wheels update, Painted Rare Decals. But other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm the Llamaster, and I will see you guys next time.